everybody, Pacman Demon here.
Bouncing Ferret. And DaethSkyDragon.
Here showing you the epic hardcore adventures that we will go through and all the craziness. Why? Because we can and we will. Anything else you guys want to say? I'll get this! I'll get this!
Greetings! Bouncing Deathpack here. We're going to do a discussion on Bigfoot. The existence of Bigfoot. How this came about? Well, I asked the question this morning, what should we discuss? And he was the only one to pipe up saying Bigfoot. Just sort of threw something out there. He really did. So, we're going to discuss about Bigfoot, whether he's real or not. Alright, I am against the existence of Bigfoot. Why is that? Yeah. Well, what do you guys? I don't see any reason that he wouldn't exist. Alright, yours? Well, if you were to base this off religious things, yes. You think he exists? Well, how do you base that off religious things? Because of history. I don't get how that ties in. Well, see, this is not a religious debate. That's the problem.
Just as a weird offhanded last remark, my extent of knowledge of Bigfoot is an action figure in general.
Tastes like shit. This is no branding. Thank you. If we get sued, I'm blaming you.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing.
You guys are just as bad as my family interrupted me. So,
you're not
had a Bigfoot action figure where its feet were stamped and you could stamp little Bigfoot tracks.
That's the extent of your knowledge?
Yep. I no
Bigfoot stamp?
Bigfoot stamp.
Thank you for participating.
Action figure.
A doll?
A doll.
There you go. Bigfoot exists. He's a stamp. So quick description of Bigfoot, if you guys don't know, which I would be surprised. But giant creature with a giant foot. Let's put it as a giant foot. One single foot. He is essentially a big human gorilla. Right. King Kong stands over 7 feet tall, hairy, lives in the woods. Rarely seen or heard of. So he's you, except shorter. Alright, so you can see I'm big and furry. So, anyways, James doesn't like showing his face. Smile. But don't smile. Alright, so the existence of Bigfoot. Now, basically what I'm thinking is that Bigfoot does not exist. Based on reality today in the world it is, pretty much everything is known throughout the United States. So what's going on is now Bigfoot is... Fuck off. Anyways, go on. Now Bigfoot is like throughout the world, people are citing him all over the countries. Just to get people involved in this and watching these ridiculous shows on trying to find Bigfoot. So, true. Well, I mean, everybody exploits little things to get, a bunch of shows and, like, those pawn shops. Like, Who Wants to Win? And, like, oh, yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. But that doesn't mean that just because they're exploiting it, I mean, exists. It is funny watching the rednecks out there talking like they do, trying to hunt this thing. Like, I'm sorry, but wouldn't they have shot, killed, or trapped Bigfoot by now? Well, can he be shot or killed? Well, that's or has he not already been found and, they're on a wild goose chase? Right. Like, but it was just like these sightings they see and these tracks and stuff like that. All can be done by a simple person. I can do it. Kind of like the paranormal activity, the shows. Oh,
Like
somebody
so stupid.
somebody can go in and just set up the house, and then people go in and record. What was that noise?
I hate.
Oh my god, my back! Somebody scratched it.
Like, unrelated, I guess. Kind of related.
I like how your face is not even in the screen.
You ever notice? You ever notice how the History Channel used to actually be about history?
And it's not anymore.
No, it's Bigfoot, it's rednecks, it's pun, it's paranormal activity, it's all reality TV shows.
And you know why? It's because of the shift in the paradigm between reality versus, ooh, let's go for the far-fetched because it's more interesting.
I sort of feel like as a society we're trying to be. People are dumbed down.
Oh, they did that dumbed down deal. They went out and started interviewing people on what's who won the Civil War. Fucking people didn't know, and then who was our first president, and people didn't know, and then all of a sudden they started asking like the People's Magazine's questions. Who's dating Jennifer Aniston? People freaking had her right off the bat. Shit on Facebook. Who did this? Who did that? I mean, the social media, people have down.
Yeah.
History of those is baffled, man. Yeah, U.S. is being dumb.
History's in the dumps, which is bad. So, the moral of this story at the moment right now is read up on your history. Go back to history books.
So remember when your grandparents had those stacks of National Geographic magazines?
My grandparents still do.
Right. So you'd think there'd be a National Geographic magazine, the finding of Bigfoot, the actual evidence.
You would think.
I mean, they send off, this fur samples to, we sent it off to a science institute that came back, it was from a different animal. Like, all right, well, wouldn't the National Geographic and the Wildlife Preserve and everything, wouldn't people in the government get involved in the actual existence of Bigfoot?
They might have.
There is stuff in National Geographic about Bigfoot.
Where?
We just looked it up.
Google is your friend.
And second moral of the story. You want to look something up? Go to Google. What does it say?
Well, it's talking about
Bigfoot boys? Really? So now Bigfoot has boys.
Well, it's on National Geographic.
Okay, so
Maybe
here's
not
the
any
thing.
specific issue.
Right. It's not scientific facts on Bigfoot. It is the people's citing specific Bigfoot sightings, basically. And they're trying to prove the existence of Bigfoot, but still unable to doing the science behind it. Still
no factual.
Right. Still no hard evidence. But again, like the world today, most of the new species and stuff. I'm granted there's species being discovered every day, but like in the rainforest and in the ocean mainly, you don't see much in America anymore being discovered.
America.
Right, America. But again, one Bigfoot turned into many, all around the world.
Just like the Loch Ness Sea Monster or whatever. What else? Phenomenons.
Or Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, there you go.
The Loch Ness Monster actually owes a tree penny.
Tree 50, so it owes you a tree and then 50 cents.
$3.50. Tree penny.
How did you get in contact with the Loch Ness Monster? Okay, now we're getting interesting here. How did we
I
do
haven't
this?
been dumbed down to that, by the way. What's 350 mean?
350.
It's a reference to South Park.
Oh, I got you.
That's what
Does
that
South
was.
Park describe the Loch Ness?
Yes, it describes it. You'll have to watch it. It's hilarious. I'll show it to you later. Anyway. I figured you would have gotten that. At least you. I knew you were.
I've seen very few South Parks, and when I did watch South Park, I was smoking weed with my brother to see if we could get a good laugh out of it.
You don't have to be stoned to get a good laugh out of it.
Wow, we wanted to see like the pictures and the colors. Whoa. The what?
Exactly. So you say that again?
The womp womp.
I gotcha.
The weirdo visuals. Alright, so, alright, well, myth busted. There's no Sasquatch.
Is it? Did we even? I mean, hold on
Yeah,
here.
I had this one in the bag.
You thought? I literally have Bigfoot in the bag. No, you literally have big feet.
Ellen has it at home. Stamps her letters.
I think we're done with this discussion.
That was a good one.
Was it? Did we even really discuss Bigfoot?
Yes.
To an extent. Because there's not much to discuss after what's all been done through media, and we know that a lot of it's myth. But I honestly, me personally, I still think it's up in the air as to whether
Now, granted, getting out in the woods and doing this, I would say is fun. Alright.
I think just hanging out in the woods, you know,
Right.
doing stuff, not necessarily.
But again, the proof and existence of Bigfoot in today's world, I think it's just a hoax, a myth to provide entertainment. So some of it's good entertainment.
So where did it derive from, though? That's the question. Is like,
I
what's the origin?
still thought it came from like over in China or Japan.
I think it's further back beyond that, but I mean, here, we're looking it up right now. So okay, we're back to the second moral again. Google is your friend. Google is your friend.
That is a well-known picture.
Yes, it is. It's a picture of a photoshopped gorilla. Yeah, that picture, right there.
Don't see that. Can't see what kind of phone I have.
I don't want to get sued. I'm not gonna finish. You know,
Samsung.
Maybe I'll pay us for putting this on here. Right. Right. We actually like Coke. He's just an idiot. I don't like Coke. Shh. You're a loner, buddy. I hate Coke. It feels like it's rotted when they drink normal Coke. Like, you know what I mean? It's still really bad. I don't know, but it's going to sound really funny on this. By the way, if you guys haven't already figured this out, we changed our voices for a reason. Yeah. This would be great.
We are.
Squeak. Although you see our face. Okay. Squeak. Alright, what'd you find? Let's see, the origin of Bigfoot. It's in the Himalayas, it's a Yeti. We know that.
Yeah. Alright, so it's the abominable
between 6 and 8 feet tall. We know that too. Stories of a wild man existed among Native Americans of the Pacific Northwest long before
See, wild man.
In the 1920s, J.W. Burns compiled the local legend for a series for a Canadian newspaper, coining the Sasquatch term in the process. It wasn't until 1958 that Bigfoot legend really started to kick off in the United States. That year, a man named Gerald Crew found a set of large footprints at a construction site where he worked in California.
It's funny, like these sightings, you can pinpoint. There'll be a sighting in California, and all of a sudden there's one up in like South Dakota, and then there's one over in Oregon, and at the same time there's one in Nebraska. It's just weird.
He's got big feet. Maybe he moves really fast.
Right, he's the Hulk, and he jumps from state to state.
He's the Hulk. Which, you know, he's between 6 and 8 feet tall. That seems a little overkill for me. For Bigfoot? Yeah. I figured Bigfoot would actually be big. I'm 6 foot. Right, but how many people are actually 6 to 8 feet?
Oh, there's a majority.
Yeah, there's really tall basketball players. Oh, I know. Basketball players, sure. Yeah, absolutely. This is a big burly thing. I think the world's tallest man is like 9 feet tall or something like that. Probably. It's about as high as Goliath.
So there's a big-ass bushman out there running around scaring people.
Maybe. And then you got the Bible version of that, which becomes religious and blah, blah, blah. But Cain, who actually is Bigfoot.
Cain is big.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
That is his curse. He will be hunted by men for all his days.
So he's Bigfoot.
He is Bigfoot.
Really? Damn mortals.
Dadgummit.
I'm Googling that too.
Go for it.
Maybe Bigfoot's really King Kong.
Except in his almost human form.
Right?
He just gets boom. So he's the Hulk. Frick. What's it say?
Oh, so who'd win in battle? King Kong?
Or Bigfoot. But King Kong is Bigfoot.
There's a Hulk in King Kong.
I'm looking at the story.
Oh.
It has 5 myths. Here we go.
Bigfoot is king.
Though there is no way to disprove this particular tale, this is a legend. Apparently, it came up with Abraham Smoot recording the following after early church apostle David W. Patton described an encounter he had with Cain in 1835. As I was riding along the road on my mule, I suddenly noticed a very strange person walking beside me. His head was about even with my shoulders as I sat in the saddle. He wore no clothing but was covered with hair. His skin was very dark. I asked him where he dwelt, and he replied that he had no home, that he was a wanderer in this earth and traveled to and fro. He said that he was a very miserable creature, and his mission was to destroy the souls of men. Before I move forward, didn't the Bible take place way before 1835?
Yes, and this is the first coming about of that.
1835.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? He becomes immortal and is doomed to be stuck here for eternity until the end.
Okay.
And be in misery because of his actions.
Oh, right. The whole story of Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel, right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so he's cursed by God, essentially, to dwell this earth and be hunted by men for the rest of his days until the end.
Interesting. I did not know that was I did not know
So
that was
there's that one.
Can he be killed?
People have tried, apparently. As we know, right? So he's been hunted. According to the legend, he will be hunted for the rest of his days, according to the word. Which means he won't die, but he'll be hunted.
Well, I mean, that's not much of a hunt if you can't kill what you're
Well, they can't catch him. Unless he kills himself, obviously. Which, again, I'm not... That's based off of history there, but...
It's like trying to catch air.
You can.
Did you catch it?
I got it! So anyways, I would think there's different ways of being able to explain the whole myth and whatever, but whether it's a myth or if it's real. I don't know. But, nothing here.
Alright, so, comment on this video, show us your debates on this, and we'll get back to you.
Again, this is Bouncing Death Back. We'll see you in the next one.